Hi everybody, welcome to an episode of Widgets and Wonders. This is my show about great products from small companies. Now today, we're gonna look at something from top-down terrain. These are arc base masking markers in MDF. I don't even know how to describe these. What did he call them? He called them line of sight templates. Line of sight templates. Now, they're not what they sound like. They're not templates you put on your models to determine where their line of sight is. They are masking templates that you put a miniature in so that you can airbrush or even hand paint on markings and basically mask off so you get an accurate portrayal of what 90 degrees is. Now these are great for Infinity. They'd be great for War Machine for at least 2 of the sizes, and they'd also be great for any other game that uses these 3 specific base types, but they are basically designed for Infinity. They have 25mm base markers, 40mm base markers, and 55mm base markers. So let's take a look at them right now. I'm gonna do a pre and a post airbrushing on some base markings, sort of like show and tell, and we'll basically run you through how they work. So let's take a look right now. So Chris has sent 2 different kinds of these for you guys to check out. There is a full front arc template, and what this does is it basically allows you to mark the full front 90 degrees on either of these. So this one is the 25mm, the 40mm, and the 55mm. And you get this in a pack. Now they are unassembled when you get them. All you have to do really is just a thin coat of glue between these sandwich pieces and then snap these corner pieces in and it is good to go. Now you can paint these. He put some cool nifty designs and stuff in them, but they're gonna get covered in paint when I use them, so I didn't bother actually painting them afterwards. I figured I'd leave them so that you guys can see how they are. Now the one thing I will do and will recommend is get some white poster tack, because what I've done with my guy, so this is a dog face. He is now wrapped in some clear cellophane. Just went to the dollar store, got myself some clear cellophane. I white tacked him in and he's ready to spray. So now when I use my airbrush on this, any overspray is not gonna get on my finished model. It's just gonna get in here. There's a great, like sort of, it looks like 4mm, 3mm maybe, MDF lip here. So you shouldn't have a huge amount of trouble, but I didn't want him to fall out. I wanted him to stay put so that his arc was marked right. And I didn't want him to get any extra overspray on him. So this is my process for doing this. So yeah, a little bit of white tack underneath the base, gonna hold the model where it is. I mean, he doesn't shift when you turn him around, because you don't want him to move. Like if you mark one side and then he spins, you don't want him to have the second arc be in the wrong spot. Then this is just gonna keep him static to where he is after you have him facing the right way. And then the cellophane is gonna protect you from any overspray. Now you could do this by hand too, but obviously it's designed for airbrushing. So you could use this template, stick the model in it, and then just grab a brush and some wet paint and mark the 90 degree arc. I think that would work just fine as well. But an airbrush is gonna give you a much more accurate sort of like line. And that is, I think, what these are designed for. So let's go airbrush some arc markings on this guy and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. All right, let's take a look at these suckers now they're done. I did 2 with the just point templates, so like the 2 marks on either side, and 1, which is my cutter over here, with it all the way around. So you can see I wrapped them all in cellophane. I'll unwrap them right now. Oops. This is just to hold them steady and keep them safe from the airbrushing. So you can see here there's a little bit of green on these, so I'm glad that I actually did that. And then when I pull these guys out, I used what is it? Vallejo Game Air Sick Green, and then I put a little dot of white in it just to give it a little bit of brightness, and then went over it again. And there we go. So there's my 180 degrees, whoop, marked on either side, you can see, like that. I'm just gonna use a little bit of black and just clean up, because there's a bit of a fade right there. I'll use a little dot of black to fade that out, or just to make that nice and sharp. And then ditto this fella. We'll unwrap him. This is the old dog face, and we'll pop him out. Oh, come on, buddy, get out of there. White tack's doing too good job. And there we go. So there's one arc, and the other arc perfectly 180 degrees, marked through the middle. And then last but not least, dog face in not werewolf form. Much the same thing. We'll pull him out, and there he is. Now his base, it's funny. This is an old GW base, not a whatchamacallit, not a Infinity base. So it was a bit smaller than this 25mm thing. That's worth noting. You're gonna have to get some black and tidy up the edges there, because the looser the fit on this thing, the more little bits of overspray you might get. So Not such a big deal. This guy definitely tight as a tick because it's the actual one from Infinity. This guy, because it was an older GW base, because I was looking for a base to texture up, it's not quite tight enough to get a perfect edge. But super quick and easy, and gave me a nice 180 degree on the front of this guy, and on these guys, perfect sort of like 180 degrees from either side. So there you go, a nice look at the line of sight templates, both front 180 and points from top-down terrain. So I hope you enjoyed that look at the line of sight arc templates for Infinity from top-down terrain. Now, if you do know of another great product from a small company you think needs more attention, you can have them email me at guerrillaminiaturegames@gmail.com or Facebook message me through my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/outofthebasement into the streets. And I will do my best to get them some more attention. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you for another Widgets Wonders next week. Until then, I'm Ash. Have a good day.